Not to be dramatic or anything, but learning how to be more feminine in a world that is teaching us how to be more manly will set you 1,000 steps ahead of where they want you to be. And it'll put you in your divine womanly power and will help you get literally anything you want. I was in my masculine energy for pretty much all of my teenage years, and I was always go, 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 and wondering how I'm gonna get to be a millionaire by age 17. For some reason, it was so bad. I was so in the matrix, in the girl boss world, and in the hustle culture that the US teaches people. And I had no idea that I had an imbalance of energy that was stopping me from getting so many things and being my authentic self. And I know that so many women can relate because the world around us literally programs us to turn out like this. Now, for everyone, it's different, but the biggest thing that catapulted me from my masculine to my feminine energy was just learning how to actually rest and not feeling guilty about it whatsoever, and also shifting my masculine goals to feminine desires, if that makes sense. But of course, the reason we're here, there are micro habits that tremendously help along the way, no matter how small they may seem. After all, it's always about the little things. Sit back, relax, and listen so you can soak it all in. And if you are watching on YouTube, I'm gonna have the notes at the end of the video or in the show notes if you're listening to a podcast. Number one is to slow down 15%. Now, if 15% seems like a lot to you or you don't know what that looks like, even slowing down by 5% or 10% will get you more in your feminine energy. Next time when you're walking in the street, take a look around you. Look at those women that are rushing to get wherever they need to go. They just seem stressed and completely in their masculine energy. You could not look at that woman and identify her as a woman that is harnessing her feminine energy, because nothing is more feminine than a woman who knows how to slow down and savor her life. For example, I am a fast talker by nature. I just like to talk fast, and also I know that everyone's attention span is a lot slower these days, so talking fast is more beneficial for me. However, when I look back to my old TikTok vlogs when I was fully in my masculine energy, I cannot even follow what I was saying because I was actually talking at the speed of light. I may talk fast for some people now, but you could never get me to talk as fast as I used to back then. Slow down when you're cooking, slow down when you're getting ready. If you spent less time scrolling mindlessly on your phone, you'll realize that you have more time to slow down and actually enjoy your life. You don't need to rush to make your sandwich in 5 minutes when you can slow down for a bit and make your sandwich in 7 minutes. I promise you, everything will be fine. Number two is something that I'm calling the 2-2-2. Two go-to hairstyles, two go-to outfits, and two go-to makeup looks. If you have your two outfits that you know look good that you can go to when you don't have time to figure out an outfit, you have your go-to hairstyles, preferably one for a more regular day and one for a greasier day. Like me, when my hair is greasy, it's always in a half puff down, and almost every single night I put my hair in socks to make curls so that way I can just wake up in the morning and my hair is done and pretty. And then I have my natural makeup look that takes me 5 minutes and my more glam makeup look that takes me like 10 minutes. Having your 2-2-2 will take away so much stress and ensure that you almost never leave your house not feeling your best. Or at least every day you're leaving your house feeling very decent, because being like uncomfortable and not confident will not put you in that feminine energy mode. 3, think of someone that has a feminine energy voice and make them a facet of your personality that you can switch on whenever. Oh my gosh, there's this one girl on TikTok, I can't remember her name, but if anyone has come across her, she's like blonde and she's always glowing, and I think she's from Finland, but she talks in English. This girl is not human. Like, she looks like literally the epitome of feminine energy, and she talks so sweet and so gentle and so slow like this. I love it. I watch her videos and I'm like, wow. So she's just an example, but let's say that Blair Waldorf is your epitome of feminine energy. The next time you walk into a cafe or you're just going about your daily life and you're trying to tap in more to your feminine, you go, okay, Blair Waldorf, and you embody her and you just talk like her. It's really not that hard. We have mirror neurons in our brain for a reason, so you can mirror whatever you want to mirror. And this will train you to speak in a more feminine tone, to speak a bit slower until it becomes the norm for you. Number 4 is reducing caffeine. Caffeine is a drug. I know that it's so hyper normalized and it's a huge part of culture, but I personally do not think that we are meant to be drinking bean water every day. Although it can be a good drug because it gives you energy and maybe it allows you to live your boss girl life or whatever. Now, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist. I'm just someone who likes to do a lot of research, and you can be the same. If you do your research on caffeine and coffee specifically, you will see that it literally just stimulates your cortisol. Now, cortisol is our stress hormone, and feminine energy is all about rest and relaxing and slowing down and sitting back and receiving. But when our adrenals are fatigued from taking caffeine daily, or we're just constantly on edge from our caffeine, it is not getting you closer to being in your feminine energy. In fact, it's doing the opposite. Caffeine is making you wired instead of relaxed. Now, this doesn't mean you have to cut it out altogether, but just reducing it a bit can help you lower your cortisol levels, which will in turn make it easier to build a more feminine lifestyle. Number 5 is investing in cute lingerie or loungewear. Now, if lounging around in sweats makes you feel like your most cutest and feminine self, then more power to you, girl. But there is just something about a cute pink fluffy robe or like a white or black like satin robe with fur on the cuffs. It just does it. Like it just does the trick. And like you should be having fun at home when nobody's watching. In all areas of your life, you should be having fun and feeling cute. Also know that lingerie does not just have to be worn for your partner or whatever. You can be wearing cute stuff under your clothes for yourself. It just adds a little extra something and something that you know but everyone else doesn't. Number 6, pick one thing out of your day or routine to fully romanticize. If you're not getting the grip, I'll give you some examples. For example, let's say that you want to romanticize your skincare routine more. Maybe when it's time for your skincare routine, you set aside 5 to 10 minutes for yourself. You put on your favorite music, relaxing music, or just whatever you feel like listening to. And you take the time to gua sha your face, really get into the physical touch of the skincare routine. Maybe you even light a candle. Maybe you even buy one of those face steamers to make it feel like you're getting a luxury experience every single day. Or something else that you can do is to choose one meal a day to make really aesthetically pleasing. So sometimes I do this where I make my breakfast really cute and really fancy, and then I will sit down, I will take the time to mindfully eat, but before that, I put on like some cafe jazz music. Maybe I light a candle, maybe I go sit in front of like a window or the sun and I make it a whole experience. If you like to walk, maybe instead of just going up and putting on whatever and going to walk, you actually take the time to choose a cute outfit. Maybe you set it out the night before and then you make like a yummy electrolyte type of drink to go along with it on your walk. Please, because life is just too short to be boring, and many of us are overlooking the areas in our life that we can fully romanticize to have better days every day. Number 7 is prioritizing effective, lower intensity workouts. You can argue me on this, but overdoing HIIT will absolutely not put you in your feminine energy. It wreaks havoc on your nervous system and puts you in a more stress mode if you are overdoing it. If you do it once in a while, that's totally fine. I'm telling you because I used to be there, but now one of my favorite workouts of all time is just going on the treadmill and doing 6:33, so like 6 incline for 30 minutes at 3 speed. I put on a cute set, I put on my waist sweatbands, and I get my cute cup, and then I put on a self-growth video while I walk, and everything just feels great. Honestly, for the 12:30 trend, I was here for it, and like yes, it burns calories, but it was just way too much of an incline, and I was holding onto the bars and I was dreading it. But the 6 is like perfect. Because working out is supposed to be fun. You're not supposed to dread your workouts. You can still tone your body and burn calories and do whatever you want to do while having fun and actually enjoying it. Because women in their feminine energy enjoy life as much as they can. Number 8 is a bit unique, but it is making an affirmation voice note. I love affirmations. I think they can be so life-changing. They can lead you to uncover things about yourself that you didn't know were negative beliefs, and they can help instill new positive beliefs about yourself or your life. I kind of see affirmations as like when you add in meditation or something in your routine. Because you know, some days you're in a rush, you're like, oh, I just don't feel like meditating, or I don't feel like sitting in front of the mirror and doing my affirmations. But this hack changes the game. You're going to compile your list of affirmations and go to the voice memos app in your phone and just say them out loud. Not only does it just do something to your subconscious hearing your own voice say your affirmations, but it's also a much easier way to be consistent with them because you just press play whenever you want. I usually will do it first thing in the morning instead of scrolling on my phone, or I'll do it at night, or I'll just do it like anytime during the day when I feel like I could use a little boost. It's honestly just a vibe and you should try it out. Now I know I said micro habits. So number 9, I guess, is a bit of a habit, but setting aside 1 to 2 hours of intentional rest per day. Many of us women in this matrixy world do not know how to rest without guilt. If you set aside 1 to 2 hours of intentional rest, of where you say, okay, I'm actually going to do absolutely nothing. There are no obligations. I have this time. And if I decide I want to like read a book or file my nails or do whatever, that's different. But I'm not planning something to intentionally do during this time. It's 1 hour of nothingness. Especially if you do this in the morning, it will do wonders for your cortisol, for your nervous system, for your digestive system, and for your creative juices. And most of all, it's helping you practice being feminine, where rest is a key component. And that is naturally resting as we're meant to do, not resting with guilt, not resting thinking about our to-do list, none of that. Resting and being your fun, frolicky, feminine self and just enjoying life itself. Just think about it like this: a basketball player has to show up to basketball practice and become a better basketball player. Just how a feminine woman has to show up to rest to become a better feminine woman in her feminine energy. It's not that complicated. In fact, it's meant to be simple. Number 10, which is one of my favorites, is finding your womanly scent. I was using Valentino Donna Born in Roma for years, but it was more like my fruity, girly teenage scent, and I wanted a woman scent. So the last few months, I was on a complete mission to find this scent, and I finally found it. It's called Arabella by Arabian Oud, and it smells so good. And it all started because I have a thing for Arabs, and I love when an Arab like hugs me and their cologne or their perfume is like stuck on me, but it's like actually a good smelling one. And I wanted to have that same effect on people. And Oud is more like, I don't know, it's just not girly, it's more like womanly. And let me tell you, something about a good scent just really does it. I get compliments from my strangers and my friends all the time now, and I swear nothing makes my day more. There's also this like smoke brush that I've been seeing where you put like some kind of like, oud smelling smoke that comes out of a brush, and you brush your hair and it puts the scent in your hair. I don't know, it looks really cool and I want it, and I'm gonna get it. Number 11 is using the power of words, because our words are so powerful. It's changing your wording from I have to I get to or I choose to. So next time you hear yourself saying I have to do this or I have to do something, a bell should go off in your mind when the word have to comes up, or need to. You don't have to do anything. You don't need to do anything. Yes, you need to do X in order to get Z, but you don't need to do X in the first place. It's more of a choice because you want Z. You need to eat a certain amount of protein to get that certain body type that you want, but you don't actually need to eat that protein. It's more of a choice, because you could choose to not eat X amount of protein and you'd still be alive. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's more of a choice that you're doing. If you make this change, you will just see how this transforms your energy, because words are so powerful. Changing this will not only make you more grateful for the things that you get to experience in life, but it'll also just put so much more power back into your hands. Like, I don't have to film this podcast every Wednesday. I'm choosing to film this podcast every Wednesday so I can be consistent and show up for a certain group of people so that I can change their life with my words. Now that sounds a lot better and feels a lot better than saying I have to film this podcast to reach a certain goal. I don't. I'm purposefully choosing to do this podcast for a higher good. Just like I don't have to be a healthy breakfast, I can go to IHOP right now and have a bunch of pancakes with syrup if I choose to. But instead, I'm choosing to have a healthy breakfast out of love and respect for my body, and I know that it's going to make me feel super good. Moving on, number 12 is accepting and expecting help. Many women with wounded feminine energy, and it's seen all the time, are not open to receiving. Mark my words, every time there is a man, especially near me, and we're like walking towards a door, I will slow down and let my body language invite him to open the door for me. It's more like a natural thing that I do now, but the man will open the door because it's just how the balance of feminine and masculine energy works. If I'm in an airplane and there's a capable man next to me, why is my 5'2" self going to try and put my carry-on in the overhead bin? No, I'm going to ask him, hey, can you help me? You see how my voice changed a bit there? Like, it got a little bit more feminine, like, hey, can you help me put this up? Learn to receive help and don't rob people of the joy of helping. We are not here to do life alone. There are people all around us to help us all the time, and being able to receive is one of the key components of feminine energy. We know that you can do it. We know you can open the door. We know you can put the carry-on in the overhead bin, but nobody's forcing you to. Number 1, work smarter, not harder. And number 2, learn to sit back in your feminine energy and practice receiving help from men and women. So I live in London now, and every time I take the subway, or the tube we call it, and I have a carry-on or a suitcase with me, a man is always in my vicinity and always asks to help. Can I be like, oh, I don't want a stranger to carry my suitcase or to touch my suitcase? Sure, I could do that, but why? Like, just let the man help. On top of that, you're letting somebody else feel joy, because we all know men like to feel like the hero. So it's a win-win situation. Moral of the story, practice receiving help and letting people do things for you. Number 13, practice going on one solo day a week or every other week. I don't know why it does it. It just does it. And I could do a whole episode on solo dating. I think it's actually very powerful and overlooked. But something about taking yourself on a date and showing yourself that you are setting aside intentional time to have fun, to be away from distractions, and just enjoy whatever you're doing. I actually have an entire list on my phone of just solo date ideas, so I'll give you guys a few. And some of these are so simple and so easy. You can go to the movies by yourself, you can go to a mall and go shopping, go to brunch, take yourself on a picnic, go to a sip and paint, go on a nature walk, book a fun fitness class, go thrift shopping, treat yourself to a mani-pedi, go to the spa, grab a book, and head to a local coffee shop. Like, the list is endless. I said it once, I'm gonna say it again. Having fun and living your life helps you be in your feminine energy and doing things that you actually enjoy doing. So, intentionally scheduling that time for yourself can do wonders. And last but not least is a nicely saying no without needing to give an excuse. Start getting real comfortable with saying, no, sorry, I have plans. No, sorry, I can't today. No, sorry, I think I'll skip out today. Women in their wounded feminine energy who do not prioritize themselves and let people walk all over them have a really hard time saying no. But you guys don't understand how powerful it is and how much respect you receive, not only from yourself, but from other people when you learn to say no. Think about it. Let's say you asked your girlfriend to go clubbing and she came up with a false excuse and was like, oh no, I have to babysit my cousins tonight. So you're like, oh, okay, whatever. Versus if she was like, no, I think I'll skip out today. I'm not feeling that. You might be taken aback a little if you're not used to this, and you'll be like, oh wow, she actually values what she wants to do in her own time and her life. She's not scared to skip out. She doesn't have FOMO. She's not going to do things that don't serve her and don't serve her interests. Saying yes is very important if you don't know how to say yes as well, but saying no when you don't know how to say no is a way of taking your power back. After all, this is your life and you need to make room for yourself to fill your own cup up before you go and pour it out into others or other situations. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. The Creation of Her is available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. The notes for this podcast will come up on the screen now, or they will be in the show notes, so make sure to screenshot. My socials are also linked in the notes and description. My DMs are always open. Actually, somebody DM'd me last week and it literally made my day talking about my podcast. So feel free to DM me with any questions, any comments, and make sure to send this episode to anybody who you think might benefit from it.